We're here today with T.G. Sheppard. And T.G., you have a new project out, and I'm excited to hear it. It's coming out later in October. Tell us a little bit about it and what inspired you to do this at this time.
Well, Legendary Friends and Country Duets is exactly what the title says it is. It's legendary artists. I tend to call them iconic. I mean, when you have Jerry Lee Lewis and Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard and George Jones before he passed, and Ricky Skaggs and the Oaks and B.J. Thomas and Mickey Gilley. I mean, the list goes on forever. When you have those type of people on there, I mean, to me, it was a magical time in my career to be able to put this type of project together. I think for so long, Bev, I was missing something in here, you know, about feeling validated in my career. You would think that #1 records and fame or money or whatever would fulfill you. It's that feeling of something really missing, and I think sometimes it's validation from your peers in the business. And I finally got through with this project, and that emptiness in here was filled up because I realized that all these people that came to sing with me came with no questions asked, not a single no. And to me, that totally fulfilled me. I was able to take a deep breath and go, okay, hopefully I've done something, a history-making event here now.
That's awesome. How did you choose, or who chose, how did the artists and the songs come together in that marriage that you decided who got to sing what or how it was going to work?
Well, of course, each artist had to, I think, feel or like the song that they were doing. And we drew from a lot of different songs, okay? I co-wrote 3 songs on the album, so I was fortunate enough to have the record producer, my great producer, Denny Deontay, who said, these are the ones I like. He didn't know who wrote what. So he just started listening to songs, and I said, oh, I co-wrote that. I like that one. So Kelly and I, my wife Kelly Lang, a great singer-songwriter, which you know Kelly, she had written some songs over the years that were very heartfelt, you know, with her life and what's happened in her life. And so a lot of those songs came from her, and they come from other people. It was just, I think the song, I've always told Kelly, my wife, I said, a great song always finds its way. May not be now, maybe years from now. And some of the songs she had written a long time ago. And they found their way home on this album. The Jerry Lee Lewis cut, The Killer, was written by Kelly and myself and Bobby Tomberlin, a great writer, great
Love
friend.
him.
And Jerry Lee, because it's the story about his life. And so you definitely want to be involved with your own story about your life. So the 4 of us got together on that. And of course, the other one that I was involved with was 100% Chance of Pain, the B.J. Thomas and Jimmy Fortune duet. And then the last one that I was involved with was the Ricky Skaggs cut of If You Knew. So, I don't know, the songs just kind of evolved.
So are all the songs new songs?
Yes, except for the Conway and the Engelbert Humperdinck song.
Okay.
The Conway song was a difficult track for me because Conway was one of my dearest friends. And I toured with him for years. We're in business together. Boy, were we in business. Every time he called me to invest with him, I'd lose everything I had. But it was Conway, so I did it anyway. I couldn't think of doing this project without having Conway on there with me in some way. So I've always loved Why Me Lord by Chris Christopherson. So I went to the family and in the estate and said, guys, I've got to have Conway on my album. I know he's not here, and I don't want to take away from his original version in any way, so I want to go in and completely record a whole new track with that song. I'm not interested in using the track that he was already on because that's sacred
Mm-hmm.
to me. So we went into a new track and took Conway's vocal off of the old track. And I can only tell you that the night that I went in, the studio was late. And I'd come in off the road and I was tired, and I put the earphones on in the studio and I heard the track and I heard Conway's voice, and I got very emotional. The tears, they really started flowing that night because at that moment I felt his presence there.
Sure.
I know he approved because I felt his presence there, and so it was a very magical track for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it came very easy, but very emotional.
I can only imagine. So, do you think that's your favorite song on the track, or is it
It's
hard
hard
to
to
pick?
pick a favorite. I mean, I like that song a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I love Conway a lot. I'm kind of partial to several songs on the album because they all have such deep meaning, and they all have a great story. Of course, the Jerry Lee Lewis duet was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I grew up on Jerry Lee Lewis. He's one of the reasons I got into music.
Absolutely.
When I was a kid, at 14, I heard him sing, and man, I wanted to be a singer.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Lee's was a favorite cut of mine. Of course, I love the duet with Lorrie Morgan because, Bev, it's a conversation, and I haven't had many songs in my life that were like a conversation. It was two people who meet in a bar, and they start talking, and the song just unfolds, and it's reminiscent of the songs of the 40s.
Wow.
It's very American songbook type song.
Mm-hmm.
It's a newly written song, but it sounds like it was written years and years ago. And it's a torch song, so I got a chance to, with Lorrie, to be a crooner on that
There you
album.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. Is your lovely wife singing on the album with you, I assume?
Yes, she's
Good.
on a cut called Dead Girl Walking,
Oh.
and she wrote that song. And she was one of the inspirations for this whole project, really. I think it takes people in your life sometime to make you
Mhm.
realize things. And I had gotten to a point in my life and career before I started dating Kelly and later married, to where I felt like that my day had come and gone. And Kelly assured me that my day had not come and gone, that the biggest part of my life was still in front of me, not behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And so through her encouragement, I went back in and started recording again and started touring extensively because I was just kind of getting ready to kind of hang it up. Because I celebrate my 41st year this
Wow.
next year. And she was right. I have done more exciting things since she told me that the biggest part of my life is in front of me
Yep.
than I ever dreamed of. I mean, the people we've met, the places we've gone, the numbers of people that we had performed before.
Yep.
I owe a lot of that to to the glue in my life, and that glue is Kelly.
So when you think about 40 years ago, 41 years ago, when you were in the studio for the first time, compared to now, how is the feeling different? Obviously, technology is different, the way things are done, but
Well,
how do you feel about?
of course, technology is better, and they can do so much more now than they could back then. It's cleaner. But it still all comes down to the singer and the song. The excitement that I feel now is just as great as it was the first time I walked into a studio.
Good.
I think when that goes away is when it's time to hang it up. It's when it gets to where it's not fun anymore, or you don't love it as much as you used to. But I really and truly, I think now the confidence is a little stronger than it was in the beginning because, you know, we managed to put together 21 #1 records and recorded a lot of albums in my life
Absolutely.
and career. And so I think the confidence also makes you a better singer and performer.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice to go in now and have a little bit more knowledge under your belt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you test drove any of these songs live?
Not really.
Not yet?
I test drove the Willie Nelson duet.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Texas when I did this, and of course, wow. When you're singing a song about Texas to Texans, you're going to get a response, believe me. And when you have Willie Nelson with you, that's amazing. I haven't had a chance to test drive any of them because they're duets.
Right.
I don't believe in going out there and just singing the songs with myself without the partner,
Right.
the duet partner.
Right.
So it'll be tough to do a lot of these songs in concert unless I invite
People to come
one
with
of the
me.
artists to come by for a song, or if they're on tour, I may jump up on stage with them or whatever.
Right.
Or we may do maybe a special or a TV show or a special concert for charity somewhere maybe.
That'd be a good idea.
I've always wanted to do that and donate all the proceeds to charity. So I think the test drive on this album is going to come from the people hearing their copy when they get it, or
Sure.
or hearing it on the radio, hopefully.
Right.
I can only say that the artists that are on this album all have their own distinct sound. You know, when you hear a Haggard or a Nelson or a George Jones or a B.J. Thomas or the Oaks or Ricky Skaggs or Mickey Gilley or Jerry Lee, you know instantly who they are.
Yep.
And from their voice. And that's what I tried to put together on this project, was a project where you knew who was there. It wasn't just a singer, it was an icon. And I'm deeply honored that they would all take the time to come with no questions asked to record with me.
Do you find it easier to do a duet with a female or a male? Does it make a difference to you?
Not really.
Not
really, especially when you're recording with people you're comfortable with. And there was a comfort level with each individual artist on this project because they were friends. And there wasn't any fear or intimidation from any of them, because I've done basically concerts with every artist on this album, and I've known them for years. And so, no, some of them were maybe more emotional than others, maybe a ballad. The Conway thing was very emotional. And the Lorrie Morgan cut of the next one was emotional. The one with Crystal Gale was emotional because it was written by my wife at a period of time in her life when she was battling cancer. And she wrote the song for me to let me know that she wasn't going anywhere, that she was going to get through it. And that song kind of got me through it, because the song was called I'm Not Going Anywhere. So it's always been very special in here because of that time period in our life that really and truly our priorities totally changed after that.
Is there a reason you didn't have her sing it with you, that you chose Crystal to sing that one with you?
Well, we wanted to have different artists on the project, and she had already kind of decided that she wanted to do Dead Girl Walking, which was one of her favorite songs. And I think sometimes it's very emotional for her.
I can't even imagine.
To hear the song, let alone try to sing it. And I think she just wrote the song out of love and out of her emotion at that time, and I think that's where she left it. And so therefore she wanted Crystal to sing it. And Crystal did, and did an incredible job on I'm Not Going Anywhere.
That's awesome. Well, we're definitely looking forward to the album coming out, that's for sure. Are you going to be doing radio promotions as well as interviews?
We have been doing so much here lately, and of course we will be doing more in the weeks to come as the album rolls out. And some of them, they said, well, if it doesn't sell well, how are you going to feel with all these icons on it? I hope it does well, but I've already been paid. Because I experienced the feeling of being in the studio with my mentors, with my heroes. And so it's not about the money with me. It's about getting an opportunity to sing with people that I admire and respect and have looked up to for years, and who are friends. So,
Absolutely.
if it sells well, that'll be great, frosting on the cake. But
Yeah.
it's an album of songs with artists that I hope the songs will touch people's heart, because we're dealing in a time in our life right now in the world that we all need a song to hear and let it affect us.
Amen to
And
that.
we're all looking for those songs nowadays, with times being the way they are.
Yep.
And so it's all about emotion in this album. So
Good. Where can everybody find them? Are you going to have them on all the
well, it'll be,
iTunes
you
and everywhere?
can download
or-
it on iTunes, Amazon, or all those places. And of course, I'm sure some record places, stores, or shops will carry the product, hopefully. And
Order
and
off your website. and
off
everything.
the tgsheppard.com or kellyling.net, or Cleopatra Records in Los Angeles is putting this out, and there will be a lot of places that you can. Of course, we're living in a download world now.
Exactly.
Of downloading songs, and you'll be able to download the project in all the places that you would normally go to get music, and hopefully the record stores too.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much for today. I appreciate it. We can't wait to hear the music.
I'm just tickled, Belle, that you took the time to talk to me today.
Oh, I wouldn't pass it up.
Well, hey, you're very kind to not only me, but to a lot of people in my business. Everybody loves you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
And
very
anybody
much.
who's watching now, if you want to contact me, you can always get through to me. I'm very accessible through Twitter and Facebook,
Yes,
or
you are.
tgsheppard.com. So
Yes, you are.
my life's
Awesome.
an open book, and I love hearing from people.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.